Well, hi everybody. Guess who's back? Real Deal is back. My voice is still crackling from the COVID, but I think I'm definitely I was on the mend until I started talking. Okay, so I think I might actually have breaking news today. Some of you might be happy, some of you are probably going to freak right out. So, but this is definitely worth watching. It's come to my attention today with the news coming from all directions that we are in store for some energy savings. As you might be aware, our unit energy prices, heating prices have gone through the roof this year. I mean, it's been getting worse and worse every year, and this year's really exploded. We even have the governor giving us a little, I don't know what, I guess we're going to get it in April, like $50 or something on our bills. Is supposed to help with the heating costs that we've all been suffering through. I know $50 isn't much, but I'll take $10. I'll take 20. I'll take 100. I don't care. I'll take it. But still, I mean, that's probably a small price to pay or small token to get thrown at us when we're dealing with the prices. I don't even know if they actually reduce the price or not. It's only if they did, it's a temporary thing, as I recall. But I want to talk about breaking news today. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised by what's going on here. It was reported. I first saw this in the Boston Herald today. In case you didn't know, I'm a news hound and I subscribe to a whole bunch of stuff, probably more than I should, but I do subscribe to the Herald. And on page 5, if you have your Herald, look it up. On page 5, we've got, I think I know what the topic is going to be in the election. I don't even know what, is she running this year? Is the governor running this year? I don't know. I can't keep up. There's too many elections, or not enough elections, probably. But I think the next gubernatorial election is going to be focused on energy costs. I have a funny feeling, and I think everybody's warming up right from Washington all the way down that this is going to be a very interesting year as it applies to energy costs. And if you haven't opened up your Herald yet, or if you have, you're probably going, oh shit, if you've read the article. I'm going to give you the news for everybody. I'm going to try to follow up with a little extra. I'm going to try to see if I can pull up a picture to give you an idea. Nope, that won't work. What am I doing? I want to, maybe I can share the screen. We'll see. I don't know. Let's see. Will this work? I don't know. Oh, I suppose I have to pull up the picture. This might, I don't know. This is new for me. This one. Let's see. I'm trying not to dilly dally. Is it going to show itself? Window. There it is. Here's a hint coming. Hint, hint, hint. Is it there? Does this give you a hint at what's coming? Something that we weren't dealing with for a while back about 10 years ago. You know how times change. People change their mind about things all the time. And this is a picture of something that is sending shockwaves through my viewership who reside right here in Townsend, Massachusetts. But some of you might be excited because what this picture of a pipeline represents is natural gas, which everybody likes. Seems to be New Englanders happen to like natural gas. It's one of the cheaper fossil fuels. It comes, you just have to have a little meter on the side of your house. You don't have to call an oil company, and it's sometimes cheaper than oil. It's cheaper than people generally feel safer with the meter on the side of the house rather than a propane tank outside taking up space and like having a little bomb outside your yard. That's what I think about a propane tank. And then, of course, straight out heating your house with straight out electricity, although that's what the state wants, that's what environmental activists want, is us to just have electricity pumped to our house and heat our house that way, because then you can use renewable energy coming from a number of sources, including solar energy and wind and even water. I don't know. Um, but natural gas has been the favorite of New Englanders. Anybody who's plugged into gas is really not excited about turning it off. There are communities that don't have natural gas coming in, but Townsend has got a lot of it. And we tend to add as much as we can. Those who want to get hooked up to gas like to, because it's, even though it ain't cheap, as they say, it's not as expensive as some of the other choices that we have at the moment. And it's clean. It's for the most part, it's clean. It doesn't come without issues, but as far as taking care of things in our house, we kind of lean towards gas. I know I do, but I do understand the environmental issues, and I understand the long-term issues is not that good for natural gas for all of us, but it's a favorite. Now, today's Herald set the stage, and I'm going to refer to another article I found from Barron magazine, Barron, no relations to Trump's son, and although I wouldn't be surprised if that's how he got his name. I don't know, but it's a big business magazine or piece of media. So, but the Herald's reporting that, which should bring, it's important. I think this survey is going to be important as we go forward. They did a survey earlier this year and asking voters what they preferred. More natural gas pipelines or more renewable energy. Guess what won? It wasn't renewable energy. It was more natural gas pipelines here in Massachusetts. Yes, indeed. Now, don't make assumptions of who took the poll. 48% independents, 40 something percent Democrats, and only 11% Republicans voted in favor of the pipeline. So it wasn't, for those of you Democrats or left-leaning people who generally are targeted as being more environmentally friendly and would generally go towards renewable energy, didn't. They went straight for natural gas. The now half of our state, I think, is independent, and then the other two kind of split the baby there. Although we're mostly Democrat, even the independents lean to the left. So, which most people are registered independent, even though they're really entrenched in their political party or they're entrenched in their political views. It doesn't matter. Whatever we could split the data all day long, but I think what we're faced with is the criticism now that Governor Healey is getting from all directions. That is energy costs, and that there's been a lot of it is, I think, strictly political and concerning about, she's been focused, and much of the state has been focused on renewable energy. And that includes, renewable energy is something that we don't have to dig into the earth to get. It's a present in our environment, and it's going to be there for the foreseeable future. We're going to have wind. The wind blows and the sun shines. Until we have nuclear winter, we will have sun. So solar energy is a big deal, as is, and wind has, everybody doesn't agree with me, I know, but wind is an excellent source of power. Just the stuff that blew into my yard over the last couple of weeks, I can tell you, it's powerful. And trees that come down, and it's capturing it. There's a lot of energy in there, and the wind almost always blows. We can always get some, I'm not necessarily talking strictly about the wind mills or whatever that have had some technical issues out in the off the Cape or out there off Nantucket. But we're not in Nantucket. We're here. But there are opportunities for more renewable energy. We and it's a process. But we still like our natural gas. We have population crunch. We have a housing shortage. So we got a lot of people who really can't wait, and they want cheaper energy, and they like natural gas. Well, even we've talked about over the years that not that long ago started complaining that the state wanted to ban gas stoves and about them being cancer causing because they all leak a little bit. Yeah, I guess they do, and they cause problems. So, and everybody went up in arms about, wait a minute, we can't get rid of gas stoves. I like my gas stove. They're not going to come into our house and take our gas stove anyway. But this is the love affair New England has. New Englanders, or at least Massachusetts people, including those who live in the town represented by the town hall behind me, towns in Massachusetts, we like our natural gas. And a lot has changed in the last 10 years. And the reality is that the political voices asking for natural gas pipeline. That's a fact. And I expect the tide has turned. And as we go through the next year or so, we're going to be hearing a lot in political debates, news articles, opinion articles about how more important a natural gas pipeline is. I'm going to take this picture off because I'm sure somebody's really getting upset. But how much more important it is to bring natural gas and bring down our energy bills than it is to be as environmentally sensitive as we have been. I don't want to go down the path too far to remind everybody of the protests and the political realities that happened when the natural gas pipeline was first introduced. It caught everybody. It caught a lot of people by surprise. I saw it, and nobody. I mentioned it on Facebook, and nobody even winced. And then within about 6 months later, everybody freaked out. I'm like, okay, I don't know what took everybody so long, but all right. But here we are again, and there's a different focus on it. Now the protest might be in favor of the natural gas pipeline coming down 119 and up 13. Thank God knows where else they're going. But there is a plan. This is brought on by the Trump administration. Those of you supporting that probably are in favor of this as well, to bring more natural gas to New England in order to reduce energy costs. This would be an important part of that plan. He's already working, well, I don't know if he's working with or against the governor of New York. There's a plan called the Constitution Pipeline that is coming up from Pennsylvania into New York State to Albany. I think I'd have to dig up all my old stuff, or well, Google's got it all anyway. That might. I don't know if that one was the one that came through Townsend. I want to say that it came back. Oh, and there's also another one. The governor, I think, Connecticut's all riled up on this too, because there's of course another vein, I'll call it, that comes up, and I think that was the one that was really kicking into Townsend, was the one that came up through Connecticut, and then I think it came up 13 and did something. I'm not sure. I have to look up all this old stuff, But I mean, I probably won't because we're going to get all new information because it's all back. One thing if I can, I'm going to pull up. I would pull up the article, but I don't want to get a copyright strike from the Herald. I'm a paid subscriber, but I'd hate to have them sue me for a lot more than the cost of my subscription. But I will give them credit for passing the story on to me today. If I can find, I forgot what I was looking for now. Oh, is this the article? No, it's not in here. Hold on. It's in the Barron article where Trump said well, if I can't find it, where the heck is it? I'm not going to pull it up, but I'm going to at least quote from it. Oh, I'm probably in the wrong. Is this it? Oh, there it is. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office last month that he wants the Constitution pipeline, that's the one in New York State, built quickly to lower electricity prices in the Northeast, and that includes us. We're going to get this done. And he thinks it's going to be between 9 and 12 months. I don't think so. It takes longer than that to just map out the pipeline. Okay, of course, it's been mapped out for a couple years. And the other piece is that he could use eminent domain. We'll do what we have to, he says. Hopefully we won't have to. Now, pretty much the battle is on. And you know how Trump plays. There's a price to pay. Now, I'm going to talk briefly here about the Constitution pipeline. Paying attention to the Constitution pipeline that goes into New York is something New Englanders have to pay attention to. I don't care what side of the opinion is that you're on about wanting natural gas coming into New England. You need to pay attention. If you want it, watch New York. This will tell you how close the program is and what the potential can be as the push to get this pipeline into New England goes. And if you're on the environmentalist side, you're for renewed energy and you're against the pipeline, pay attention to what's going on with the Constitution pipeline, because that will tell the tale on what the legalities will be, if you are against it, if you want to fight it, if you want to, I don't know. But the Constitution pipeline is going to tell the tale on how things will run in New England. We're not going to be treated differently. It's whatever happens with the Constitution pipeline is going to be impacting what happens here. That's just common sense. Okay. Yeah, let's see. The Constitution pipeline, yeah, it goes from somewhere in Pennsylvania to New York near Albany, which is almost sitting on our border. All the way out of Western Mass. Let's see. And Trump is willing to do eminent domain. Now, interesting piece. Of course, big businesses play politics. In case you didn't know that, they have their own game of politics. And I'm about to report something. But don't think that it means the story's junk or that, game's over. There will not be a pipeline because the guy that's supposed to build it isn't going to. No. There's a company. Oh, I don't know if I even have the name of the company. Oh, here it is. Let's see. We're not going to. Alan Armstrong, the CEO of the Williams companies, said that he will not build it. He will not build the pipelines or any pipeline without support of the governors of the states in which he's going through. He doesn't want to have the he doesn't want to deal with that. He doesn't, because, well, that could be costly because they'll just drag you through all kinds of legalities and all this other stuff. But not so fast. I lost my myself here. Not so fast. Just because a CEO said, I'm not going to do it without the support of the governors. Okay, well, that's easy. Well, it's not. Oh, it's an easy no on the surface. But don't think it's an easy no to say, oh, we don't have to worry about a pipeline coming through. That's not what it means. It means that they're going to get the approval of the governors. And part of that, as I look at this article from the Herald, and the Herald doesn't always call it right, but they get things, they plant that seed and let us know what's happening. And I think some of the information they provided in their article kind of gives a hint to the battle lines that are being drawn this week. This month, this season, the heating season. Massachusetts residents are sick of these high prices. And the political tide is turning against Maura Healey regarding why the prices are so high. And the big criticism that she's defending against now, believe it or not, is when she was Attorney General, is when the push against the pipeline. Oh, we don't need that. We don't need more pipeline here in Massachusetts. We're working on renewable energy. That's coming back politically to haunt her because prices are going through the roof. And now the argument is that that was a mistake. Because if we had had the pipeline, the prices would not be what they are today. And now I can't argue that. I can't say that having built the pipeline would have made a difference. I'm not necessarily jumping on that bandwagon. Energy costs are high no matter what. Whether that would be a solution, I don't know. But this is what's happening. This is the political happenings. And the reality on the ground is that the federal government is pushing to get the pipeline through. It's through New York right now, but eventually into New England, and probably pretty quickly. And I believe that part of the politics as we enter the next election cycle is going to be in support of the pipeline in order to bring down energy costs and as a means to target politically, if for no other reason, to go after Maura Healey, to use the pipeline against her, and to put Maura Healey as an anti energy savings for the people, and that she should be more in support of a pipeline to reduce energy costs. This is how I see the cards playing over the next year, but moving rapidly. I don't think this is just a whim. This is not just this thing that's going to pass. I think this is something that, regardless of what side of this issue you're on, whether you want reduced energy prices, whether you want renewed energy, whether you want natural gas, whether you want a pipeline, all of these things are back on the table. And it might not be the same rules as we had last time. The federal government wants a pipeline. We already know with tariffs and everything that Massachusetts is on. We're not getting treated very nicely from Washington. We're losing out on a lot, and the battles have only begun between the federal government, the Trump administration, and the Democratic state of Massachusetts. I'm confident that the goal of Trump is to get Maura Healey out of the way. I see that as a very important thing. Um, I know lived in Massachusetts my whole life. I think that changing the trajectory, I don't think it's going to shift from the left leaning, the mostly Democratic operation that we have. If we were to get a Republican governor, I would not see a big change. um, we often have a strong Democratic presence and a Republican governor. That's common in the state, the history of the state. So I'm not, I don't care. I mean, I care. I suppose I care. I have political thoughts of my own, but I'm not thinking attacking Healey isn't necessarily. I mean, they can attack her all day. It's not going to change the politics in Massachusetts. But what may very well happen is the pipeline might come. I think Trump's only been in office for a couple of months, and this has come up now as an issue. It's perfect timing to bring it up because we're suffering. Massachusetts residents are up in arms about the um, cost of energy, and this could capture a lot of people, many of whom were in diapers when this started the last time, when we had the pipeline talks last time. It's been a decade. It's been over a decade when this stuff happened. Right about a decade. Maybe, I think it was around 2015 when that was happening, when we were doing the thing with Kinder Morgan. I don't think Kinder Morgan's even around. If they are, they're a shadow of their former self. I understand that the pipelines throughout the country that they were trying to build did a lot of the governors across the country push back, and they lost a lot of money. Their investments went belly up. So, but they're probably still around, just not. They're a shadow of their former self, as I said. And there's other pipeline development companies and energy companies that are out there willing to do this. And just because this one company said, I'm not going to do it without the governor's support, well, getting the governor's support just may very well just simply take arm twisting from the federal government, from the White House, to hold back on funding. We have a Democrat or Republican controlled Congress and Senate that can really make it miserable for states that aren't playing the game, and that includes Massachusetts. We also have um, the direct political attack, if you will. I'll call it that. Any work to um, gain the support of constituents on a particular issue. Sometimes it feels like an attack, but they're coming, and um, they want to twist Maura Healey's arm, and everybody and the voters. They want to get the constituents out there saying we want lower energy costs. The surveys, the polls that have been done are showing that voters, voters in Massachusetts, and it's not a trick poll. I trust the poll. There'll be more. They're coming. Watch for them. But there are polls out there suggesting that the voters are. I haven't looked at the standard deviation for the survey, but I'm going to find it. I'll look for it to see how many. But the voters, actual voters, and Democrats and independents are more in support of more natural gas pipeline than they are renewable energy. They want a pipeline more than they want solar or wind. That's according to the poll reported on page 5 of today's Herald. So, as I want to remind everybody, this is back on the table. Can you imagine seeing that picture coming down 119? Of course, it will be. See, there's a rail trail right next to it. This picture. This is not even in the United States. This picture, I don't think. I don't know, but I got it off on Splash. So this is isn't that is a perfect kind of, that says a lot. We got a pipeline right next to rail railroad tracks. Those railroad tracks were probably put there to assist with managing the pipeline in this, that's just depicted in this photo. But it kind of gives a nice contrast. Oh, we're all about the environment, we're all about rail trails, and now we're going to put a pipeline right down the rail trail. How about that? Yes, that's just about where it's going to go. Actually, in the middle of the street. I think that they were putting it right down the middle of the street. That was the plan. They weren't gonna. I don't think they were gonna plow down anybody's house. I don't think that was happening. But yep, we got a mess coming. This is what is on the state and national agenda for those who are in support of lowering utility cost by the most favored means right now appears that it could be a natural gas pipeline coming into New England to bring it to us. Okay, that's my quickie video. I wanted to do a video on a completely different topic today, and I still have some thoughts. I got some kind of plans. I'm waiting for some of the other videos to drop from the town in order to get the full picture of some of the issues I want to bring up for you. And they're kind of tied up in production. so here's my breaking news for today. We might have the natural gas pipeline after all. But according to polls, you might actually want it. All right, that's all I have to say. Energy savings on the way. Have a good day. Catch you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, on your way out, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want more breaking news like this one. And also, let's see, did I tell you to subscribe? Yes, I did. Like the videos. Share this video with your friends. Put it out on all your other accounts and all these different groups you're a participant in. And do comment. Please leave a comment. I do read them. Every now and then I respond. Okay, have a good one. Thank you. Thanks for watching.